Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's George Rubber from Team Onigas here. Today I'm actually going to talk to you about fairies. I've been hearing a lot of talk about the fairies lately. Basically like, oh, they're so broken, and they're unbeatable. Tour guide fairies, BLS, drop the Hyperion, unbeatable, and I just want to tell everyone that it's not unbeatable. You don't need like tour guides to beat them and whatever. There's obviously a lot of ways because they're a deck. One, a lot of decks draw ass. I don't care how good your deck is. I'm not saying that Fairies isn't a great deck. It is a great deck, but at the same time, it can draw ass like two orange light, two shine balls, and just like one MST, complete garbage. Like that's a trash hand. You can't do anything with it. Um, so I'm just gonna show you a few side decks or main decks that hurt fairies in a way. So you guys can at least have somewhat of an edge on it come Toronto and other upcoming regionals. So when you come up to this thing, you don't have to think like, oh fuck fairies, that's like an auto lose, because it's not really. I actually have a pretty big collection here of cards, side deck cards, main deck cards, whatever, that actually really hurt fairies in one way or another. So let's get started. Gotta pull this thing down. It's kind of annoying. Alright, first card on my list, Prohibition. Prohibition, because fairies are so easy to read, you just call whatever you need. Early game, call Tour Guide, Earth. Late game, call Hyperion, Christia, etc. I mean, they're not hard to figure out at all, and you can just drop a Prohibition and problem solved, really. I mean, just have some protection with it and some advance. You can't just drop Prohibition and then have nothing to follow up. So this definitely needs advance with it, but it definitely slows them down. I'm not saying they're not going to get over it because they use MSTs in Heavy Storm, but it will definitely slow them down if they don't have the answers, and regardless, they will have to waste that heavier MST on Prohibition, so that saves your warnings and stuff for later in the game. Next card on my list is Skill Drain. Skill Drain shuts them down. Granted, you have to go first sometimes for this to go off successfully, but it's just Tour Guide. Just, Christia, I can special summon, and you don't get it back to the top of your deck. This card is so good, it makes a lot of their small power cards into just little beaters that you can easily run over. Skill Drain is definitely a very good side this format as well. I actually side them. Extremely helpful, extremely strong. Definitely use it. Next one on my list is Mind Crush. They use not only the Earth to search, but they search with the Sangan, and on top of that, they're pretty easy to read. I mean, you can pretty much see when they're setting up a Christia play. Like, if they're constantly checking and counting their graveyard, just Mind Crush Christia. More than likely, they have the Christia in that hand. I mean, they're not hard to read at all, and like I said, that's why Prohibition is good as well. So with Mind Crush at 2, definitely hurts them a lot, especially in combination with the Trap Dust Shoot, since because of Tour Guide, they're always going to have more than 4 cards in the hand. Trap Dust Shoot, look at the hand, send one back to the deck, then Mind Crush one of them that you just saw. It's a huge play. Most likely you won from that play. Next one, Banisher of the Radiance. Banisher of the Radiance is good because they synchro into that, or I'm sorry, not synchro, they exceed into the Leviathan, then send the Sangan and search. Well, it's Banisher, it gets removed from play as well as all the other agents in their deck. So no longer can they remove from the graveyard for their Hyperion. They no longer get their Sangan search as well. Again, Banisher of the Radiance is small, so he needs defense with him, and he also needs advance for you to push. You can't just sit there with a Banisher and 5 back row. Well, I guess you could, but you definitely need advance with it too. So you need definitely more than just him, but he's definitely a great card against them. Next card, Doom Caliber Knight. Doom Caliber Knight is a great side against them. They go Tour Guide, Doom Cal shuts it down, Sangan shuts it down, Earth shuts it down. I mean, Doom Cal is a great card. I would definitely consider siding it against them. Actually, if I had them in my side, I would definitely side the Doom Cals against them. Doom Cal is an extremely well-diverse card and also hits a lot of other decks. So, yeah. Next card I'm going to say is Allied Justice, Decisive Armor. Um, you are probably not going to get Decisive Armor out as much as you think, but God, if you get it out and use this effect to discard from hand, that's game. Discard 2 Christias and a Hyperion. That's game right there. I mean, Allied Justice, Decisive Armor, definitely a huge hit on them. 33 attack, 33 defense. The effect discard all lights from hand. Nothing bad about him. I'll definitely side him in if you're able to synchro with him. It's 2/2/4, 5/4/1. It's pretty simple to go into, actually, if you think about it. So yeah, Decisive Armor. Next one, you need protection for, but definitely hurts them, is Steel Swarm Roach. This is great in late game. I actually have wrecked a ton of fairies with Steel Swarm Roach. Now, a lot of you are going to say, oh, then they just, Tour Guide, Sank, and Exceed. Well, obviously you don't just place a Roach there with nothing to protect it. That's bad Yu-Gi-Ohs. You have a Roach with at least 3 back row, so you have some protection for it, and then you have some advance on the side. Like, let's say you have a Thunder King here or something, or, like Xian or whatever, like whatever deck you're using. And the Roach stops the Hyperion. It stops Christia from being summoned through its effect. Roach is just huge against them, especially if they're done exceeding and done plussing. Drop the Roach on them. They can't Hyperion anymore. They have 4 engraved. They can't drop the Christia unless they want Roach to negate it. So definitely Roach. Big thing against Fairies. I can definitely see why this card is very good. I mean, I wouldn't use it against something like Gravekeepers, but against decks like this, definitely Steel Swarm Roach. I'll try to exceed into this once they have the Hyperion play and the Christia plays ready. This definitely shuts those down and hurts them really bad. Next card, Thunder King Ryo. Thunder King Ryo is a great card. It stops the Earth play, and if you have protection, again, you need the protection for him. If they go Tour Guide, Sangan, Exceed into Levial, if you negate that with Thunder King, they're still going to get their search, even though they lose their monster. But if you have something like a Deep Prison or a Mirror Force set, basically what it turns into is they attack, you Deep Prison, and they get nothing from it. So I'm pretty sure it's a -2. I'm not quite sure, though. I haven't quite done math. I'm pretty sure it's only a -1, though. But yeah, definitely Thunder King's a great card. You're going to see this next card in this format a lot, because you know how at the beginning of the format this deck is always popular, Gladiator Beasts. And I think with Fairies around, even more. I'm actually using Gladiator Beast this format. The War Chariot kills. It doesn't just kill Fairies, it kills a lot. And War Chariot, War Chariot something big, it's game. On top of that, it's reusable, it's recyclable, and on top of that, in between the mists of War Chariot hitting and picking them off, you're tagging out for the stuff you need, Gizzard plays and whatever. So definitely glad something to fear. My buddy Marcon actually made Agent Fairies. He really likes the deck. He loves it. It's a great deck. He definitely agrees, though, that Gladiator Beast is his hardest matchup. So for all you Fairy players out there, definitely be on the lookout for Gladiator Beasts, because they're a toughie for you, believe it or not. Next card, Effect Veiler. Guess why everyone's manning them this format? For you Tour Guides. Yep. It's just basically gonna be Earth Veiler, alright, and Tour Guide Veiler, great. Effect Veiler is definitely gonna be a big hitter on you. Those surprise little tricks in your hand, I should say, are great. I'll definitely use them in combination with Max C this format. Max C is going to be amazing. And if you don't believe me, test it. You'll see how good Max C is. But yeah, definitely Veiler. And then the last one I'm going to show you, great side deck card. I've sided this probably for about a year and a half now. I've had this in my side deck. It's never left my side deck, and it's never failed to impress me and help me. And that is Fossil Dyna, Flapflapflapfio. I have no idea how to pronounce that last part. But Fossil Dyna, if you have protection, like Fossil Dyna, 5 back row, what does Fairy do to get over it? Jupiter, attack. Deep Prison, great. They can't make any of their big pushes. Tour Guide doesn't work. Hyperion, can't play the Hyperion. Um, just huge plays shut down by Fossil Dino. And Fossil Dino is great for a lot of other decks too. So, definitely these guys. And I know everyone's like, oh, well, Fossil Dino is going to get reprinted, and, I don't think so. Everyone kept on saying he's going to be reprinted, but he hasn't been reprinted yet. So, yeah, that's just, a few cards that'll help you guys out against the Fairy matchup. Definitely think about siding those cards. And for all you cocky Fairy guys out there that are like, oh, my deck is unbeatable, it's too situational. Just remember, your deck is actually kind of situational also. You gotta hope that your opponent doesn't have the answers, and you gotta hope that you don't open complete ass. Because as a Fairy player, you have the capability of opening ass. So don't pretend to be, Mr. Amazing cocky bastard over there that opens God every turn, because then, it's not going to happen, and you're going to be disappointed when it turns out you're drawing stuff like two shine balls and maybe some advance, but you don't really have that much protection, and then vice versa, Definitely Fairies, great deck. I definitely see it topping Toronto. I definitely see a lot of people using it. It's going to be tier 1 without a doubt, but it's not unbeatable, guys. So if you want to go ahead and take your random Magical Merchant Chaos deck out to Toronto, and if you side deck correctly, I bet you can top 2, because I've actually been playing around with Magical Merchant Chaos. That's kind of fun, and it's really good too. You just gotta hope they don't open first turn, blow up your flip effect monster before you even get its effect. But this format opens up a lot of decks, so just side deck correctly. Be prepared for those fairies, and for the agents, be prepared for other decks too, and be prepared for your own side and your own mirror. So that's about it. Peace out, guys. I can't find my mouse.